and warm welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to Global TV News Cycle live in Nigeria's capital, Abuja. I am Queen Agaba. President Bola Tinubu will on Saturday depart Abuja for Berlin, Germany to attend the G20 Compact with Africa CWA conference on November 20, 2023, hosted by German Chancellor Olaf Scholz. During the conference, President Tinubu will join other heads of state and governments of CWA member countries, bilateral partners, as well as heads of international organizations to deliberate on the immediate enhancement of economic and business cooperation with a view to outlining concrete measures to boost investments in critical areas such as energy, trade, infrastructure, and new technologies, among others. The G20 CWA conference will be taking place alongside the 4th G20 Investment Summit, co-hosted by the German government and German business associations. President Tinubu will return to the country following the conclusion of the conference. President Bola Tinubu has announced the immediate cancellation of the automatic deduction of 40% from the internally generated revenues, IGR, of federal universities, citing the ill-timed nature of the policy. The president's announcement was conveyed by the Minister of Education, Tahir Mamman, during his speech at the ongoing 75th Founders' Day ceremony of the University of Ibadan on Friday. The policy was originally to commence in November. Universities will have 40% of revenues generated internally and deposited in their accounts will be deducted automatically by the government via the Treasury Single Account, TSA. The High Court sitting in the Federal Capital Territory has ordered that the former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Governor Emefiele, be remanded in the Kuje Correctional Center pending the determination of his bail request. The federal government had initially preferred 20 charge on procurement fraud to the tune of 6.5 billion against the former CBN governor. But the FG reduced the charge to 6 to the tune of over 1 billion naira, which was arraigned on Friday. The judge said he needed a little time to study the authorities and peruse through the exhibits supplied by Emefiele to support his request for bail. He, however, ordered that Emefiele be remanded at the Kuje prison pending the determination of his bail application. Muazu then adjourned the case till November 22nd for ruling on the bail application and November 28th for the commencement of trial. The Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja has affirmed the tribunal judgment which declared the All Progressive Congress candidate, Nasiru Gawuna, winner of the governorship election. The tribunal, led by Justice Oluyemi Osadebe, had nullified the election of Governor Abba Yusuf by declaring 165,663 of his votes were invalid. The tribunal held that the ballot papers were not signed nor stamped by the Independent National Electoral Commission. Appeal Court sitting in Abuja has on Friday affirmed the election of Governor Bala Mohammed of Bauchi State against his challenger Abubakar Sadiq of the All Progressives Congress, APC. While delivering the lead judgment, Justice Chidiebere Nwaoma Uwa, on Friday in Abuja, he ruled that Abubakar and the APC failed to prove the allegations of malpractices and non-compliance with the Electoral Act 2022 against Mohammed and the PDP. While reacting to the judgment, the Deputy Governor of the state, Awal Jatto, hailed the decision of the court, adding that the resounding victory at the appeal court is a triumph for all the people of the state, as it signifies the PDP-led administration's collective endeavors in enhancing good governance, providing quality education, ensuring accessible healthcare, fostering economic growth, and promoting peace and unity. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has issued Governor Hope Uzodinma of the All Progressives Congress, APC, with his certificate of return in Owerri, the capital, the Imo State capital. During the state election on November 11, Uzodinma garnered 540,308 votes, defeating his closest rivals, Samuel Anyanwu of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, who secured 71,503 votes, and Nneji Achonu of the Labour Party, who obtained 64,081 votes. The APC candidate swept all 27 local government areas in the state. In his acceptance speech, Uzodinma commended INEC for conducting the freest, fairest, and most peaceful election in the history of Imo State. The Lagos State Police Command on Friday released singer Azeez Fashola, popularly known as Naira Marley, and Balogun Samson, known as Sam Larry, after the duo met their bail conditions. This was made known by the police public relations officer Benjamin Hundeyin on Friday in a text statement saying Naira Marley and Sam Larry, having met their bail conditions, have been released. Hundeyin, a superintendent of police, made this known on Friday afternoon after the artist and the socialite perfected their bail conditions granted by the Lagos State Magistrates Court. And the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, in collaboration with the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities, has launched an empowerment scheme for persons with disabilities, as over 150 beneficiaries get POS machines, scholarships, amongst others. Fauziya Lukman completes the story.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has commenced making good his promises to build a renewed Nigeria by empowering persons with disabilities, PWD, gathered in the nation's capital. Speaking Thursday in Abuja while launching the empowerment program, Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, Dr. Betta Edu, said that the empowerment will enable the beneficiaries to provide fishes for themselves instead of being given fishes.
I hereby launch the formal takeoff of the following projects for persons living with disability, which includes, number one, distribution of over 150 POS machines and a take-off sum of 100,000 naira each for operating capital for the beneficiaries.
Speaking earlier, the Executive Secretary of the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities, NCPWD, James Daniel Lalong, has lauded President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on his initiative targeted at empowering persons with disability.
We have received an express directive from the Office of the President to the Minister for Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation to make sure that we step up our intervention to provide more opportunities for persons with disabilities in Nigeria. I want to use this opportunity to thank His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for additional appointment for persons with disabilities.
The SSA Disability expressed delight at the 130,000 scholarship intervention to deserving individuals with disability pursuing higher education in tertiary institutions.
What transpired today is clear manifestation that the Renew Hope agenda of Mr. President has been kicked off and it has been started.
One of the highlights is the distribution of 150 point-of-sale machines, also known as POS, which will enable individuals with disabilities to engage in entrepreneurial activities and enhance their financial independence. Fauziya Lukman, Global TV News.
The Federal Capital Territory Administration, FCTA, has honored 31 retired senior officials for their commitment to the services of the administration. The FCT Minister of State, Maria Mahmood, who at a dinner presented various awards to the retirees who left active service between 1st April to 30th June 2023, said their sacrifices while in service were the sure pillars upon which the administration's successes stand. She urged them to continue to offer valuable guidance to those still in service, as their wealth of wisdom is still much needed. The Citizens Advocacy Group on Mental Health in Nigeria, in a press conference on mental health integration into universal health coverage, has called on the National Health Insurance Authority, NHIA, to include mental health in its guidelines, ensuring that Nigerians have access to affordable and quality mental health care. Global TV's Fauzia Lukman completes the report.
It's very important for government to look into this critically, as much as we worry about other physical health issues.
The Mandate Health Empowerment Initiative recognizes the importance of mental health in the broader context of overall well-being. The founder Mandate Health Initiative, Zion Ame Abba, stated that the World Health Organization, WHO, estimates that more than 60 million Nigerians suffered from various mental illness, and that only about 10% of them are able to access appropriate care.
Mental health is a crucial aspect of human well-being that affects millions of Nigerians. Yet it is often neglected and stigmatized in our society. This is why the Citizens Advocacy Group on Mental Health Nigeria is calling on the. It will also interest you to also know that these have a way of increasing access to affordability and equality of mental health care.
Speaking further, Dr. Sa'adat Adam, founder of Secure the Future International Initiative, called on the federal government and all health agencies on the inclusion of mental health.
It is very important for Nigerians, especially the newly appointed ministers, to understand the importance of going back to every document that was assented by the former president, so they can include it in their present work scheme. It is very important to also understand that there is truly no health without mental health. I mean, if we talk about mental health today, that's the productivity of every citizen in Nigeria. And so if we don't pay attention to the mental health of our citizens, how do we then expect a productive nation? We are talking about political issues every day. We talk about insecurity every day. We talk about lack of productivity every day. We need to inculcate mental health in everything that we do. So
mental health in the National Health Insurance Authority guidelines is a necessary and urgent step to improve the well-being and welfare of the Nigerian people. Fauzia Lukman, Global TV News.
The Commissioner of Police in Anambra, Aderemi Adeoye, has cautioned residents against taking laws into their own hands by engaging in jungle justice. Adeoye said the command would no longer condone situations when people engage in jungle justice by lynching suspects to death without trial. The Police Public Relations Office, DSP Tochukwu Ikenga, in a statement quoted the Police Commissioner on Friday as saying that perpetrators would be charged with murder. He described any mob lynching of crime suspects as bestial and worse than their victims. The PPRO said 2 suspects have been arrested for involvement in a recent mob lynching that resulted in the death of suspected criminals. The Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, Lagos State Command, has averted an oil pipeline explosion that would have led to the destruction of lives and properties in Alimosho local government area of Lagos State. This is contained in a statement signed by the state's command's public relations officer, DSC Oluwaseun Aboluri, on Friday. Abolori said that the incident also meant to vandalize the oil pipelines of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation in Liberty Estate and its environs, Alimosho local government area, was averted on Thursday. He said that this was in line with the zero tolerance of the Commandant General, NSCDC, CG Ahmed Audi, to prevent all forms of economic sabotage in Nigeria. On the foreign scene, Indian rescuers warned Friday it could take another 2 days of clearing rubble before they can reach 40 workers who have been trapped in a collapsed tunnel for nearly a week. Excavators have been removing debris since Sunday morning to create an escape route for the workers after a portion of the tunnel they were building collapsed in Himalayan state of Uttarakhand. Rescue efforts have been slowed by debris that has continued to fall as workers labor to clear the tunnel. Engineers are trying to drive a steel pipe about 90 centimeters wide through the debris, wide enough for the trapped men to squeeze through. By Thursday night, only 18 meters of pipeline had been inserted into the debris with the help of the new machine. Rescuers have been communicating with the trapped men using radios. Food, water, oxygen, and medicine have also been sent to the trapped workers via a 6-inch wide pipe. Still on foreign scene, Israeli troops carried out building-by-building searches in Gaza's main hospital as a new communications blackout in the territory on Friday compounded fears for Palestinian civilians trapped inside the facility. Al-Shifa Hospital has become a focal point for Israeli operations in northern Gaza since soldiers raided the complex on Wednesday. Hunting for a command center, the same militant group, Hamas, operates there. Hamas and hospital managers deny that charge, and there has been international concern about several thousand people, including wounded patients and premature babies, believed to be trapped inside. Israeli authorities have defended the operation, and the military said it found rifles, ammunition, explosive, and at the entrance to a tunnel shaft at Al-Shifa. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu alleged hostages may even have been held at the medical facility. The head of the European Union delegation to ECOWAS, Enobong Moma, said on Thursday that her organization had budgeted a total of €24.4 million to fight against the proliferation and illicit circulation of small arms and light weapons in Nigeria and other West African countries. She noted that reducing the availability of small arms and light weapons would help curb organized crimes in the region. This was as the National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu said the proliferation of small arms and light weapons was undermining Nigeria's security, calling for collaboration to end the scourge. They spoke at a roundtable meeting on the control of small arms and light weapons in Nigeria held in Abuja. In his remarks, the head of the EU delegation to ECOWAS, Momo, said illicit weapons, which are now even more readily available, threaten electoral processes, weaken police authority, promote sexual violence, and undermine security efforts to maintain peace. This is particularly worrisome in the face of the rise of criminal activity and violent extremism within the country and beyond its borders. Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister for the Economy, Wale Edun, says the present administration is ready to take the risk of borrowing to finance the 2024 budget. Edun explained the initiative is to generate adequate revenue as well as reduce its current high deficit financing. The finance minister made the submission when he appeared before the Joint Senate Committee on Finance Appropriations, National Planning, Local and Foreign Debt, examining the 2024 to 2026 medium-term expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper. Kike Lomo Okere has details.
Accompanied by the Executive Chairman, Federal Inland Revenue, Zach Adudeji, and the Director General of Debt Management Office, Patient Oneha, Edu explained that the best way Nigeria could fund its annual budget is to spend more money on infrastructure that could generate revenues.
Clearly, in the environment that we have now, both internationally as well as nationally, we are in no position to rely on borrowing. We have an existing borrowing program, and as distinguished Senator Abiru has said, our attempt and our direction of travel is to reduce reliance on borrowing, reduce the quantum and the percentage of deficit financing in the 2024 budget. What is the answer? The number one answer is revenue. Government needs to not just maintain its activity, it needs to spend more. So government needs even more. If you look at government spending, if you look at the budget as a percentage of GDP, ours is one of the lowest, maybe around 10%. Even Ghana is at 25%.
The Chairman Committee on Finance and Senator representing Niger East, Sani Musa, in his remark, expressed strong reservation about the 2024 revenue projection of some of the revenue-earning agencies. He noted that going for external intervention would definitely not be an option because it will further push the country to more deficit financing.
Going for more intervention. When I mean more intervention, that means more loans, which is also detrimental to us because we now increase our deficit. And then also the services that we do to this debts, the burden will increase. Honorable Minister, we have seen a lot of leakages in the use of human resources. A lot of money that are realized or collected as revenues. A lot of agencies do not remit those monies as at when due. I cannot believe that an agency will receive revenue of 2022 and is showing the receipt of collection in October 2023.
Kike Lomo Ukeri, Global Television News.
Central Bank of Nigeria said that its monetary policy reforms are beginning to have positive effects on the country's economy. Reacting to the just released inflation rate for October in a statement issued by the Director of the Corporate Communications Department, CBN, Issa Abdulmumin, the Apex Bank vowed to return to evidence-based monetary policy status to restore stakeholders' confidence in Nigeria's financial system. In October, the CBN Governor, Yemi Cardoso, said there was an urgent need for discontinuation of unorthodox monetary policies and foreign currency management and unorthodox use of ways and means spending. According to data released by National Bureau of Statistics, figures on Wednesday, inflation accelerated to 27.33% in October, a slight increase from September's 26.72%. The Apex Bank emphasized that the current inflation rate underscored the gradual influence of the CBN's money market reforms on the economy. Oil marketers stated on Thursday that the reason behind the long queues at petrol filling stations in Abuja and neighboring Nasarawa and Niger State is the insufficient supply of premium motor spirit by the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Limited, NNPCL. The NNPCL, which is the sole importer of the product, refuted the oil marketers' claim, attributing the queues in the affected areas, particularly Abuja, to price war. The queues for petrol at filling stations in Abuja and its neighboring states, in particular, as well as some southeast and south-south states, have persisted in the past few weeks. The National Public Relations Officer, Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, Ukadi Kechinedu, noted that though NNPCL had promised to discharge some vessels of PMS at Warri, Lagos and Calabar zone, the product had yet to arrive. This, according to the IPMAN official, was among the reasons private depot owners had raised the cost of their product, leading to the hike in the pump prices of petrol at retail outlets. The Managing Director of the Nigerian Export Processing Zones Authority, NEPZA, Olufemi Ogunyemi, has called for immediate commencement of infrastructure development in the Centenary Economic City Free Trade Zone, Abuja, and the revamping of the Abuja Technology Village to position the federal capital city for economic growth and industrialization. Ogunyemi made the call while delivering a paper titled Free Trade Zones, Holy Grail to National Economic Growth and Development at the Abuja Investment Summit. And that's it on News Cycle. Please don't forget to follow us across all social media handles using @GlobalTVNG and other handles now showing on your screen. My name is Queen Agaba. Thank you for watching. See you soon.